Welcome back to Columbus, Ohio. We are about to have, this event's about to start, and we're only a few hours away from the election. I'm joined with Glenn Beck. Glenn?
This is where it's all going to happen.
Yeah, this is it.
And let me say this. Even if Ohio slips through fraud or whatever, expect miracles. I'm telling you.
This is your point every time. This is what you say to me every time I get skeptical and I get pessimistic. You just say, I'm telling you, as if that's supposed to...
If I told you, 4 years ago, hey, Woodrow Wilson is going to make a surge and a comeback, and people are going to look into Woodrow Wilson, and they're going to know what progressives mean, and we're going to start gathering together, and we're going to read the Constitution. Oh, and then we're going to go to Washington, not once, but twice, in record numbers, in ways that have never been done before since Martin Luther King. Never been done before. What would you say? Oh, and then we're going to fill Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Oh, and this guy is going to come out of absolute nowhere, from way behind, and he's going to challenge Barack Obama, a white Mormon. I mean, you're witnessing miracles.
I don't see your point at all.
Look. Let me show you this. Right. This is amazing. On two fronts. It's amazing because look what the power of the individual that says, we're just doing it. We're just going. And that's what's going to happen. Chick-fil-A is a great example of that. That wasn't a big organization thing. They didn't bus people to Chick-fil-A. Right, and it went on for days.
It was individuals making choices and things they believed in.
Exactly right. So when you believe in something, if you just say, let's do it, that's really important. Because you can change the world. Let me show you that with that premise, and then I'm going to show you what you need to do. This came out from a News Whip, and it's up on BuzzFeed. And this is right and left social news. And they went out and they measured the week before the election, and they said, who's making the impact? Who is actually going into the new media and getting on Facebook and Twitter and everything else? Who's getting buzz to talk about these stories? If you look, here's Obama and Romney, and you look, and the number one biggest social reach, the Huffington Post, which I mean that's AOL.
Yeah,
that's AOL.
Purchased by AOL for.
And number one on our side, The Blaze.
Wow.
An independently owned, debt-free, started by a crazy guy who said you should prepare. You don't have to agree with the crazy guy so much. Number one. Then look at this. Then number two is Breitbart. Number three is Fox News, Twitchy, Town Hall. All of these are great, but look at. You have Rachel Maddow, Huffington Post, The Daily Kos, Think Progress, and Mother Jones. Now, most loved, interactive per story. Who's getting people to really interact with them? Maddow is number one. We beat her with The Blaze, so the number one is The Blaze. Then, top three social stories. Number one is the Huffington Post, I believe. Yes, Huffington Post. Next in line is Fox News.
That's a huge exclusive story, though. I mean, that's
huge. This is the CIA operator's request for help during Benghazi. I mean, a huge story. Number two is The Blaze. Number three is The Blaze. Okay, the point is, The Blaze we started and nobody even paid attention to. Then we started going on television and starting to recreate that and putting this together. We're making an impact. Just a small group of people that say, hey, I want to do it. And the small group of people that are going online to find the truth and then spreading it. And that's where you really come in. We have to change the way we do things. Look at the number of the Huffington Post. They are creaming everybody. They're creaming everybody, including the mighty Fox News. We have to change the way. You want to know what you can do? Facebook. Tweet, spread the word on what you believe in and what you think is true.
And that's not the only way that our audience is impacting the news like they are with this hurricane right now.
Oh my gosh. The hurricane, and I'm not sure, we're still trying to see if I can get on the ground without causing too many problems. But we want to go. I want to go up with Mercury One and kind of do what we did. Did you come with me to Greece? You didn't.
No,
you were a little girl. Oh, I had another baby or something. Whatever the excuse was this time. But you should come to New York this time. But I want to go and do, like 8 hours on the ground at Staten Island, at Coney Island, and deliver food, because the people need to see the impact of this storm, the impact of not being prepared, but also our audience needs to see the impact they've made in $5 increments. I mean, when you have done what, a tenth of what the Red Cross has done in the same time period. Now, I don't know those numbers today, but as of Friday, we were a tenth.
Yeah. And that's including really big donations, too. I mean, $500,000 from the New York Yankees. If you look at just smaller... Right, to the Red Cross. If you look at smaller donations, it's a lot closer than that. Yeah. And that's what's amazing here, is you're talking about a news organization, The Blaze, that just started, is already competing with organizations that have been purchased for tens of millions of dollars. And then, or hundreds of millions of dollars. And then the American Red Cross has been around forever. They are the charity to go to, and this is already starting to happen.
If you look at what this thing is called right behind you, the Revolution Rises. That's what FreedomWorks named this. And I was uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable with the revolution, especially when it's in kind of that really spooky, almost communist font there. But it's true. That's what's happening. People are sick and tired of it, and they're rising up. They're rising up in a good way.
They're going. I think I know your answer to this, but do you think they're going to be able to rise up in the numbers needed Tuesday to make an impact right now in this election?
Through the protection of divine providence. There's only two choices. We either get it and we restore ourselves and we move forward and we start the hard work on Wednesday, which is holding the feet to the fire of the Republicans so they get it done, because you've got 2 years. 2 years. If they don't do what they said they're going to do, who's going to go on campaign for those guys? So we're only delaying it by 2 years if they don't do what they say they're going to do. If we choose Obama again, then the decent and the righteous, I think, will be chased out, and that will mean destruction of the country. When you start to chase the good guys out, when you start, I read an article on Friday from Staten Island, and it's like the New York Post or the Daily News actually wrote this in their last paragraph, and they wrote it like it was like some revelation. They said, you know what? The people said, if nobody's going to come and help us, well, then they're just going to have to organize and do it themselves. Like, that's a revelation.
Yeah. That's the way we used to do things around here.
That's what you expect to do. You do it yourself, and if they come and help, that's good. But it's flipped, and the world has flipped. The United States has flipped, and it's a competing look, and whichever one wins, if that wins, we will become more dependent, and we will start to be the people that accept things like Benghazi. We leave somebody behind. Oh, well.
As you pointed out on the air the other day, we're talking 18 to 29-year-olds in this country favor socialism over capitalism. That's where we are now. We're going to work hard to try to cure that today. And this election, and the place to do it is right here in Ohio. Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you.
Back in a second.